Imagine John Wick, the legendary assassin, calmly striding through a nightclub, a man who has seen the darkest side of humanity. In the first movie, when unknown thugs kill his puppy and steal his car, John Wick's world explodes with violence. That shocking betrayal, an innocent dog taken, a quiet man pushed over the edge, is a dramatic example of how cruel people can be. In real life, the villains aren't wearing hockey masks. They're smiling behind tailor-made suits. They use smiles and spreadsheets instead of knives and guns, and their favorite weapons are psychological. Just like Wick's fury was ignited by a seemingly small cruelty, many of us are unwitting pawns in someone else's game. Have you ever worked for a boss or been in a relationship where everything seemed fine until one day it wasn't? Perhaps your hard work was quietly stolen, or heartfelt compliments suddenly turned into cutting criticism. This is the world of the dark triad. 3 hidden personality traits that allow some people to control and hurt others without mercy. In John Wick's world, power is enforced with bullets. In ours, power is often enforced with deceit and charm. Today we'll pull back the curtain on that dark psychology. We'll use scenes and lessons from the John Wick movies as a guide, but focus on real-world examples and advice. You'll learn about narcissists, the egomaniacs who crave worship, Machiavellians, the schemers who view people as chess pieces, and psychopaths, the cold-hearted predators with no conscience. By the end, you'll know how to spot these traits. Whether in a co-worker who is eerily charming, a friend who seems to use people without guilt, or even in yourself. Once you understand their playbook, you'll never see the world the same way. Consider the true story of Bernie Madoff, a well-known Wall Street trader who appeared kind and successful. Like a villain out of John Wick, Madoff manipulated investors with confidence and charm. For decades, he ran the world's largest Ponzi scheme, stealing an estimated $65 billion by promising steady returns. He destroyed thousands of lives, yet when arrested, he showed not a shred of guilt. He wasn't a masked villain. He sat in court in an ordinary suit, unrepentant. This was no ordinary criminal. He embodied the dark triad. He had no empathy, enjoyed the game of deception, and believed himself somehow above the rules. Sadly, corporations and governments are not immune. Research shows that boardrooms and political offices often shelter these personalities. For example, some studies claim as many as 1 in 5 high-ranking business leaders exhibit strong psychopathic traits. History's most infamous figures, ruthless dictators, cult leaders, unscrupulous billionaires, often share these 3 traits. The monster might not wear a Dracula costume. He might wear a tailored suit and pilot his private jet. So why should you care? Because these people are masters of manipulation, and they can make anyone look like a fool or a traitor. In the dark triad's game, kindness is weakness and honesty is a liability. They foster cutthroat workplaces and toxic relationships. If you don't learn their tricks, you'll end up a pawn or prey, just like people in John Wick's movies who get caught in the crossfire. The dark triad traits are narcissism, a god complex, Machiavellianism, cunning strategy, and psychopathy, callous cruelty. These traits allow hidden predators to rise to power and manipulate others, often without detection. Narcissism, the ego's poison. Narcissism is the love of self to an unhealthy extreme. A narcissist believes they are special, unique, and entitled to constant attention and praise. Even if they've done nothing remarkable, they act as if the world revolves around them. They want to be treated like royalty, not because of achievements, but simply by their own conviction. Imagine a scene from John Wick 2. Santino D'Antonio demands that John fulfill an old contract. Santino is arrogant and entitled. He expects John to obey without question, as if Santino's own importance is self-evident. A real-life narcissist behaves the same way. They walk into a room, assuming everyone's eyes belong to them. They talk over others, monopolize conversations, and believe any criticism is an unforgivable affront. Narcissists are master actors of charm. In the early stages, they'll love bomb you, shower you with praise, gifts, and attention, making you feel special and chosen. This is exactly how cult leaders recruit followers. For example, one moment they might adore you, and the next they vanish, sending you off balance. This intermittent reinforcement keeps you hooked, just as a fish bites again and again on a baited hook, hoping for that sweet praise. Narcissists also deploy a tactic known as gaslighting. They twist facts and memories to make you question reality. Recall when John Wick thought he'd be safe after fulfilling his debt? Santino changes the rules, betrays him, and insists it's John's fault. In personal life, a narcissist may insist you started an argument or claim they never said hurtful things, making you doubt your own sanity. Over time, this erodes your confidence and makes you rely on them for the truth. Some common signs of narcissism: grandiosity. They have an inflated sense of self. They believe ordinary rules don't apply to them. Attention-seeking. They constantly demand admiration and hate being ignored. Think of a scene where an assassin demands the spotlight at a party, or Winston calmly shutting Santino down at the Continental. That's narcissism clashing with the rules. Entitlement. They expect special treatment and react badly if they don't get it. Entitlement. They expect special treatment and react badly if they don't get it. Lack of empathy. They genuinely cannot feel what others feel. Even after seeing lives ruined or pets killed, they remain unmoved. This trait overlaps with psychopathy, but narcissists do care what people think of them. Brian Tayan of Stanford Business School describes narcissism succinctly. It's an inflated sense of self-importance, an excessive need for attention and admiration, and lack of empathy. These people love the idea of themselves more than anything else. John Wick example. In the movies, a mini narcissist could be considered Santino's sister, Gianna. She expected to inherit the High Table's power just because of her birthright, not necessarily her deeds. Even she begs John to kill her so Santino can claim her seat, thinking in a twisted way that this act will honor her legacy. It's narcissistic in that she overestimates her entitlement and legacy. Protect yourself. The antidote to narcissism is self-worth. The day you stop craving their validation, their power over you collapses. Remember, real love and respect are earned, not demanded. If someone treats you like a pedestal every moment or throws tantrums when you're not fawning, step back. You don't need to become self-centered. Instead, aim for wholeness. A balanced self-esteem that doesn't depend on others' praises. As one expert notes, narcissists lack empathy, so building your own empathy and self-love shields you. Machiavellianism, the art of deception. Next, consider the Machiavellian. Named after the cunning political philosopher Niccolo Machiavelli, this trait is all about strategy and manipulation. Machiavellians see life as a chessboard. People are either pawns to be used or obstacles to remove. They are cool, patient, and utterly strategic. One researcher summarizes Machiavellians well. They tend to believe others are malicious or incompetent, and so they use deceit and exploitation to achieve their goals. In short, they think, no one will hesitate to use me, so I won't hesitate to use them. Machiavellians often use plausible deniability. They'll suggest a harmful idea rather than order it outright, then deny responsibility. For example, your boss might hint maybe so-and-so should be let go without officially firing them, then claim they never really said it. This way, there's no paper trail or witness. They're experts at false dilemmas, presenting you with an either-or choice where the real third option isn't obvious. Think of when Vigo offers Sviatoslav to hand over John or say goodbye to your son. His wording makes it sound like the son's death depends on John, which is a twisted lie to manipulate Sviatoslav's choice. Common traits of Machiavellians: strategic planning. They are patient planners, happy to wait years for the right move. Emotional detachment. They rarely get emotionally involved. Others' pain is just collateral. Opportunism. They use any situation to their advantage, stepping on friends or strangers alike if it furthers their goal. Deceit. They will lie or spread rumors without guilt. They even do it in front of you if they think you won't call them out. Calculating speech. They are charming when needed, respectful when needed, but it's all a performance. John Wick. Example, Viggo Tarasov, the Russian crime boss in John Wick 1, is a portrait of Machiavellian leadership. On the surface, he's a patriarch who loves his son. Beneath it, he coldly plots murder. When he learns his son Iosef killed John's dog, Viggo expertly offers John a deal. Give Iosef up or say goodbye to your son. By presenting John with a brutal choice, he manipulates both sides. Any outcome keeps the power in his hands. And indeed, Viggo calmly arranges John's apartment ambush, yet can walk into a bar and smile at others. That calm surface hides a master strategist. Another cinematic example, think of how Winston, the Continental's manager, plays politics. He pretends neutrality while secretly controlling events, like tipping John off about Zakharov's location. He's Machiavellian too. Always polite, but always 3 steps ahead. Real-world warning signs. A Machiavellian boss or colleague might never give a straight answer. Always let you think it was your idea. Break up friendships or alliances in your team to prevent anyone from challenging them. Take credit for your wins and blame you for failures without clear evidence. Twist your words if needed. I never said that. Maybe you misunderstood. What they want: control and power. They don't care about being loved or praised. They care about results. If you've ever been in a group where suddenly everyone is against one person and the leader acts innocent, that could be Machiavellian social manipulation at work. Protect yourself. The key is critical thinking. Don't play into their narratives. When a Machiavellian pushes a choice, always ask yourself, is this really the only option? Seek the hidden third choice. Notice inconsistencies in their stories and keep records. Since they avoid paper trails, maintain your own notes. In John Wick 4, Winston wisely keeps an eye on the Marquis's corruption. In life, do your homework. Verify rumors before reacting. And don't be pressured into snap decisions. As the old proverb goes, echoed in strategy books, the supreme victory is that which requires no battle. If you refuse to be baited into their game, their power over you withers. Psychopathy, the cold-blooded predator. Finally, the most chilling trait, psychopathy. A psychopath lacks empathy and remorse. They are fearless, impulsive, and emotionally cold. In John Wick terms, think of them as the true predators. They wear suits, not masks. They shake your hand with a grin, then destroy your life without a second thought. Psychopaths do not feel guilt or pity like normal people. Your pain is irrelevant to them. For a psychopath, even a child suffering is just a number. As Psychology Today notes, psychopathy involves being fearless, impulsive, and rebellious, not troubled by anxiety nor by feelings for others. They do experience fear to some degree, unlike Hollywood monsters who never flinch. But they handle it far better than the rest of us. This makes them extra dangerous because we humans are naturally held back by conscience and caution. Psychopathic leaders are not. In movies, we might picture serial killers as psychopaths. In reality, many psychopaths function in society, often in leadership roles because they don't panic under stress. Research has found that roughly 4 to 12% of CEOs may show notable psychopathic traits, whereas only about 1% of the general population would qualify. They thrive in high-pressure environments where others get anxious. A normal person might lose sleep over layoffs. A psychopath cuts jobs with the same calm as ordering lunch. John Wick, example. The hitman. John faces are cool and collected, but the real psychopaths in his world are the ones who carefully obey the high table without compassion. Think of Zero from Chapter 3, the assassin who calmly bows and commits murder for sport. Or the mysterious person who arranged John's wife's funeral bill to be less than the hotel because her dog died. A cold, calculated use of rules with no moral sense. Even Winston, for all his loyalty, eventually cold-heartedly shoots his friend at the Continental to maintain order. A classic dramatization. In John Wick 2, our hero sees this line disappear. He demands the money the villain owes him for killing Santino's sister. The villain shoots John, betraying the code. This shows how in that underworld, rules are just paper. A Machiavellian game cloaked in honor. Similarly, a psychopathic boss will break any rule, then get away with it because they have no qualms. Common traits of psychopaths. Common traits of psychopaths. No empathy. They genuinely do not feel what others feel. Impulsivity. They might engage in risky or violent acts without thinking of consequences. Manipulativeness. Like Machiavellians, they lie easily, but usually for immediate thrill or gain, not long-term strategy. Calm under pressure. A study on Vietnam War planners found they referred to death casually, as if crunching numbers, much like how Elizabeth Holmes feigned emotionless confidence at Theranos while hiding the truth. Psychopaths don't break a sweat. Superficial charm. Many are charismatic and can mimic emotion when it serves them. They learned it's useful, but it's a mask. Real-world examples. Corporate world is full of functioning psychopaths. They're the CEOs who announce mass layoffs on a Friday and go golfing on Monday. They're the tech founders who ghost their investors after a failed startup. A Journal of Business Ethics study even showed psychopaths are disproportionately common in executive ranks. These people see employees not as humans, but resources. Like John Wick sees bullets as tools of justice. Protect yourself. With psychopaths, emotional appeal doesn't work. Reason doesn't reach them the way it reaches us. Instead, set firm boundaries and enforce consequences. If a coworker with psychopathic traits bullies you, it won't help to say, "This hurts me." They don't understand hurt. You must report them or remove yourself. Remember, they are experts at power and may prey on empathy. Stay logical and document everything. In John Wick 4, the hero ultimately confronts his enemies head-on. In our world, we usually can't fight fire with fire. Instead, arm yourself with knowledge and law. Learn your rights, and don't be afraid to walk away from a clearly toxic environment, even if it seems the only way. Recognizing dark Triad players in your world. Let's bring this home. The people around you might not look like villains from the Continental Hotel. They might be the charming coworker who always compliments you but whispers criticisms about others. The boyfriend, girlfriend who showers you with affection, then flips and blames you when something goes wrong. The manager who says, "We're like family," but secretly pits you against your teammates. The business partner who seems friendly, yet suddenly cuts you out of a deal. Have you ever felt a sudden guilt trip or shame imposed on you, even though you've done nothing wrong? That's a classic Machiavellian move. Or been left feeling confused about something that happened because the facts keep changing. That's gaslighting from a narcissist. Or have you been targeted by someone who seems unaffected by the stress or hurt they cause? That could be a psychopathic sign.